very, very special for me. And the reason why I'm sharing these dreams with you, because to me it's like, you know, do you ever go to a new restaurant and eat a great dish, and you can't wait to call your friend to come home and tell them, go eat there, the chicken franchise was unbelievable? Well, this is how I feel. I feel that these dreams have been so enriching in my life that I hope tonight you will go home and do this so that you too can have these wonderful experiences. I have a 10-year-old son who unfortunately 2 years ago developed a disease called ulcerative colitis, something that affects the bowel. And unfortunately in his case it got very serious very quickly. He wound up in the hospital and he was in there a month. And the medicines weren't working exactly the way the doctors wanted, but they said, well, we'll send him home, we'll see what happens. I go home, I say to my father, you know, I had a dream last night. I dreamt there were dogs all around his bed, and I couldn't get to him. They were snarling at me and barking. And my son, in the dream, sits up and starts to vomit. Next thing you know, we're in this other room, and he's sitting up, and he's happy. Something uncomfortable, again, the feeling. That morning, I'm supposed to go bring him home. Instead, I get a phone call, you better get here immediately, he's not doing well. I walk into the hospital room, the truth. As I step foot in his room, he throws up. The doctors invade the room, and at this point, see, my mental state wasn't good, and like the dogs, rushed me out of the room. What I held on to was that other room, the room where he was sitting up, where he was happy. I walked him into the surgical area, and as I turned, there was that recovery room. Now, if I didn't have this ability, if I didn't allow myself to do this with my dreams, where would I pull hope as I watch a 9-year-old boy in pain? And I had the second experience, the second surgery. I'm going to sleep, and I'm like, all right, I want to know that he's going to be okay. Nothing. Next night. Can somebody up there give me a message that he's going to be okay? Nothing. I say to my friends, what is this? Nothing. They don't want to tell me anything. Maybe it's because there's nothing to worry about. We go into the hospital, he's having a reversal situation in the bowel. He has the surgery, everything's fine. I said, oh, okay, maybe that's why nobody said anything. They're definitely there when you need them. All of a sudden he has complication. They don't know now, but he did have, I don't know if any of you are familiar, was an ostomy, a bag, because they removed his colon. Now they did the reversal, complication appeared that he may need to put it back on permanently. So, you know, he didn't want to know this, I didn't want to know this. I go to sleep, I'm in the hospital with him, and he says to me, Mommy, there's mice on the ceiling. This is the dream. I say, no, those are sparrows. Remember, my sparrows are spiritual. There's a saying that God can keep his eye on the sparrows because there's so many. He's certainly watching you. That's the saying. Then I said, we're going to go for a walk. So in the dream, I put him in the wheelchair. And we wind up going down again, this dingy road. And I said, I don't want to go here. So I pull him back, and I move him to Miracle Mile. All you women know Miracle Mile? See what I'm talking about, symbols? Great, Mac. I mean, you know, where else would I take? So we go. And there are 2 dogs lunging again at me. But I said to him, you know what? We can get past these 2 dogs. And on the other end of these 2 dogs was his physician. We can do this, I said. And sure enough, we get past the 2 dogs. I'm happy, I shop. I wake up, and my son, who's a character, who always tells me, you know, Mom, I'm skeptical about this psychic stuff. That morning, we're crying together. I said, wait a minute, I had a dream. Oh, it was your dream, Ma. Now he wanted to know. So I told him, I said, you know, the sparrows represent something good. We started up a bad road, but we went on a good road. It seems to me that something that looks very bad is actually going to turn out very good. And we are going to have that miracle. Lo and behold, they put him back into the operating room, and we think the worst. I'm pacing one way, my father's pacing the other way. He's saying, the dream, the dream. I said, but birds, you know, this whole thing. And sure enough, he was okay. And when I entered the operating room, I said, Miracle Mile. So once again, I was given that thread of hope in the most emotional situation. So I share this with you in hopes again that you will be inspired to allow yourself to have these wonderful visions in the night. Yes, Lotto. All right, Lotto. I dreamt once that my mother jumped off the back porch into a hole filled with coins. I woke up and I said to my father, there's a pool back there. Check the number on the pool. And there was a little sticker with 3 numbers. And we didn't play it and it came in. So if for no other reason, if you're looking, maybe you'll do it for the lotto. Okay, if I can turn this page. Some symbols may be universal. Like car usually represents the physical body. If I dream, sometimes I park my car and I don't know where it is. Obviously, I'm feeling lost or out of control. If I'm in the driver's seat, I'm in control again. You have to be careful because maybe you're dreaming that something's wrong with your car or a friend's car, but usually that's what the universal symbol is. Shoes and feet are your foundation. So if your shoes are broken, check the path you're walking on. Hair is usually thoughts. Sometimes I'll dream my hair is down to the floor. So I know that there's some thought that's driving me out of my mind and I better deal with it. And water is usually emotions. And the color of the water, if it's muddy, you know, you're not feeling too great. If you're dreaming of the waves overtaking you, obviously you feel like you're drowning. So pay attention to your dreams. Also, you can have fun with them. I've done this. Once you're into it and doing it, not tomorrow, maybe a month from now, you can ask your friend, who may be more objective, to ask before she goes to sleep some information for you. Like maybe, you know, you're interested in a guy and you want to know where it's going, or a lady, so you'll ask your friend, when you go to sleep tonight, ask about a relationship for me. Let her do this for 3 nights and see what she comes up with. I did that for a friend, she did it for me, and this was maybe a year ago, but I journaled it. It's in my book, and it just so happens that it is coming out now. This is what people like most, messages from the other side. People always say to me, oh, my mother died, I'm not dreaming of her. My son died, I'm not dreaming of him. But the reason may be, besides which the soul may be working out some things and not ready to come to you, is that you have to be over your grief. If you have grief and you're blocked, the energy can't move in. Also, you must have forgiveness, as we did in the meditation. You have to be healed. If you had anything with that person that was unresolved before their death, work through it. Ask for forgiveness. I like to tell people to write letters. So if they're dead, it doesn't matter. It's an expression. It's a form of cleansing. And you must be prayerful and helpful. Just as you would like the message to come from someone who's passed away, they may also come to you and ask you for help. They may be stuck on a certain level. Their soul grows also because they continue to grow. They may be going through a difficult time. So if you want to receive messages from them, you also have to be prepared to be helpful to them. And depending on whatever you're comfortable with, you want to say a prayer for them, you want to light a candle, whatever your thing is, that's fine. Once all restricted barriers are eliminated, you will in fact have that dream that you wanted from your mother, friend, or whoever. I had a great vision of a friend named Michael. Michael died at 39 years old of liver cancer. We're very, very good friends, and fortunately he opened up spiritually before his death. So he made the transition really well and started to do all kinds of tricks immediately when he died to his friends and his family. I asked Michael if he can show me what it is when these people talk about near-death experience. You know, they talk about that wonderful feeling, they don't want to come back. Because being a spiritual person and being psychic and having had visions of the afterlife, I don't fear death. What I don't like is the thought of leaving someone you love. So I asked that night before I went to sleep, would you please show me, Michael?